Hey, journeyman, this is the Hero's Journey with Dr. D, here to encourage, to inspire, to motivate, and to educate, helping you get beyond your first move. If you find any value in this content, go ahead. Help me help you so we can help others by clicking subscribing and like and sharing and sharing and sharing. What you do is you climb with me, you join with me, you connect with me so we can make it better tomorrow, today. All right. Creating a better mindset today as well. So this is what we do tonight. So you know what it is. It is Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And today we do the recap, the update, and the Q&A. So let me open up my chat right now. So if people are on, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. If you're on and you have issues with me and mean that you can't hear me, let me know as well. Send me a text or send me something in my in the chat section. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat box at this current time. And seeing that we don't have any no audio messages, I will not be playing the audio messages or questions to answer on the air. I'll go right into it. Okay. All right. This week's video was talking about. This week's video was talking about how to prevent the hijacking of the amygdala. How to prevent the hijacking of the amygdala, and we talked in depth about it. And actually, I did two videos. I gave 6 steps on how to prevent the hijack. I gave an ending, 6 pointers, and then I followed up with another video, giving in depth the reasonings of each step and how they can be applied so you can get instant relief when you're feeling frustrated amongst a hijack episode that's trying to come on the rise. So the goal is to help everybody get beyond their first move, and sometimes that move is harder than the first, harder than the next. Some people can't get over that hump because it keeps them petrified and actually stuck in the mud, and they can't move, and they can't move forward to get anywhere else and get to their destination. The goal is to get to the destination. It's no fun staying still where you could be moving and shaking. So I explained in depth the 6 steps and how you can try to stop with it. So the amygdala. Let's get a brief overview. This is the recap right now, and the recap we're talking about the amygdala. The amygdala is actually it's about an almond shape structure within the brain. It's about 1 neuron away from the thalamus. And the thalamus actually is the control center which the incoming messages come through the 5 senses. So when they come through the 5 senses, what happens is that something is affected. And if you are affected, meaning that if there's any sense of alarm or danger, then the alarm system, which is the amygdala, the alarm system of the brain, it beep 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 beep, it just goes off. But it goes off because it received the message before the prefrontal cortex, which is the executive center of the brain, which houses all the rational content and allows everything to you analyze everything, you're detailed, you're specific. So the question is, Dr. D, so why is the information not getting to the prefrontal cortex? Because it takes it's a little more detail to get there, because when you present something to corporate America, you have to package it in a specific way. So let's use this imagery when you're talking about the executive center. Hence the word executive. It's the biggest parts of our brain, which calls rational, logical. Everything is analytical in that area. So it takes a little while longer to present it and to get it to the prefrontal cortex, so a rationale can be developed. But it doesn't take any time at all for the amygdala. It goes right to the amygdala, and then it responds. Now the key assignment that the amygdala has is that it connects to every part, every structure. The messenger is the messenger for the brain. So what happens is it sends messages. It says, hey, I think we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So we have a problem. It tells everybody, it tells the whole body, hey, y'all need to wake up because it's about to be on and popping. Oh, yeah. And it could just been a butterfly, but the amygdala thought it was a snake. So it freaks out because the butterfly happened to be the same color pattern of the snake. So the eyes get it and they freak out and they don't rationally think out the process. And then it sends messages to the prefrontal cortex and say, yo, okay, hey, it's just sending messages and saying, hey, we gotta get it, we gotta get it popping. We have to get it on because we are in imminent danger. See, back in the prehistorical days, you got tigers and lions. I mean, what was happening is that the amygdala was there because, you was actually, it's fight or fright. Now, you hear that, you say, Dr. D, you made a mistake. Oh, no. I chose to go with the behavior versus the action. So you can argue the point that fright is behavior, and you run because you're scared, or you fight because you're scared. It's a baseline for either direction. Fight or flight, or fight or fright. What happens with the issue with the fright is that the fright is so petrifying that the amygdala sends messages throughout the whole system. First, it's bombarding messages to the prefrontal cortex so much, whereas it's overload, and that's when the hijack is taking place. It's taking over the cockpit, and so much where it's draining the blood is actually being drained from that compartment because the amygdala said, telling the automatic nervous systems, listen, y'all, get the extremities together because we have to go to battle. So all the blood is being, majority, you really have like 9 pints of blood is coming from my system. All the blood is coming from my body. It's coming from my brain, and it's going to our guns, and it's going to our legs. We have to run, we have to fight because it's imminent danger. So we're fighting for our life. Get that sudden burst of energy so we can fight and extend ourselves. Automatic nervous system sends messages to the major muscle groups, and not only that, the amygdala sends messages to the hormonal capacities within our system, which it causes an increase in cortisol, which in effect can cause depression. That's right. So it's very important to prevent the hijack. And now I explained 6 steps about the prevention of the hijack. You have to stop and breathe. You have to stop and breathe. You have to be aware of. You have to be aware of your thoughts, and you have to be aware of if your heart's palpitating, or your hands are sweating, or your teeth are gritting. You have to be aware of that. I have 3 other steps. You have 3 other steps. You have to be aware. You have to be aware of where you are. You have to realize that it's only temporary. The 3rd step, you have to accept it. You have to accept it and name it. Name it to tame it. Okay, I'm frustrated. Oh, I'm mad. I can't handle the situation right now. I need to walk out. Collect myself, work with my deep breathing. Stop and breathe. Okay, I got it. Do you realize that it's only temporary? You realize it's only temporary. And then the 5th thing you need to do is to investigate the source. What is the source? What's the source of this frustration, this anger, this hostility? What triggered this thing to happen? Then you get a response. But the key area is you have to stop and breathe so it can get a certain gust of oxygen to your brain to reboot yourself, so you can be aware of your current situation. Yeah, that's right. Be aware of your current situation. A lot of people are not aware at all. So that's my recap, because I pretty much did 2 videos. So I encourage everybody else to go back and look at the 2 videos. And also tonight I will be combining the videos with this online session. Oh, no. I'll do that tomorrow at the replay. I'll be combining, and then I'll be putting it on the podcast. A Hero's Journey with Dr. D, the podcast. That will be out tomorrow night after the replay of this live broadcast. So that was the recap. Secondly, the update. The next thing I will be talking about in emotional intelligence I will be talking about social awareness. First it was self-awareness. Now it's social awareness. That's the update. Social awareness, the third part of emotional intelligence, the diagram that I'm utilizing for tenets of social intelligence. Now, what time is it? It's Q&A. So I send Phil a link. Anybody else need a link? So I can send it to him. I'll put it in the chat section. Need a link, and you can come on board and ask questions about it. I'm in the chat right now, so start putting your chats up right now. So any questions, Q&A, questions. I am waiting. Let me cut some music on to your questions. Come on. Da-da. Oh, you just messed up my groove. All right, here we go down. All right. Okay, we got a question. Phil. All right, Phil, did you get the link? I'm going down the road on my chat section. All right, first question. What if I cannot change my surroundings? Well, you may not change your external, but you can change your internal. Because sometimes that's not a plausible solution. It's not a viable solution, because some people can't change it. Look at the individuals that are locked doing a life sentence for 20 years, 20, 30 years. They can't change their surrounding, but they can change their internal state. You don't have to stay in the location just because you're in the location. Mind is a terrible thing to waste. All right. They go to the next one. But you said, what if I cannot change my surroundings? I can change my surroundings or the people around me. You can't change people around you anyway. Don't try to change people around you. You can't change people around you, and sometimes you can't change surroundings. Sometimes you can. If it's within your means, you can change your location, your surroundings, and it always starts with you. What you choose to do, it can be done. It may not be done at the rate that you choose for it to be done at. However, it can be done in increments. Inch by inch is a cinch. Remember, the turtle beat the hare, not because he was faster than the hare, but he had more persistence, and he did not stop. He kept on going when the hare had narcissistic behavior patterns. All right, let me go to the next one. What I cannot change. Okay. What if I cannot change my surroundings, such as the kids? You have to, Philip, maybe you need to come on and explain that one, but I will do my best until you should have your link. or the people around me. You said, what if I cannot change my surroundings or the people around me? And then you said, people such as the kids. You affect the kids with your examples. If the kids are in your household, you affect them by discipline, by running your house and being a model that they can imitate, a positive model, even when they don't see. Because it's not about what they see, it's a lot of times about what they don't see, that they emulate. And you're surprised that they figured out that the real you was the man in the dark. All right, let's go to the next. What you say? Can I put the link on here? Okay, I got you. Invite guests. Okay, link. I put the link on the chat section. If anybody want to come on. All right. Okay, got the link. Such as kids. Let's go further down. All right. Let's go further down. Any more questions? Philip. All right. Let me see. Da da da. Rain up in the sky, stormy weather. I don't know why. There's a rain up in the sky. What if I cannot change my surroundings? Or the people around me? I guess that's a misspelled word. How do the kids, for example, I cannot throw them out the house. If they're not your kids, you can. Yes, you can. All right. I heard my person tell me, okay, and I can come. Here we go. All right. The man in black, because I don't see anything. Philip, I can't hear you, but I brought you in and it's just a black screen. All right. I put my music on until you come on. Any more questions for anybody else? Any more questions? I don't know why. Is the rain up in the sky? Stormy weather. Ooh. Oh. All right. Everybody see the link underneath? The link underneath is the link that you can click on. And it may ask you to register a little bit, put your email in, and you can come on and you can have your say so. You can ask a question and you can comment. And we welcome all people to come on and connect. All right. All right. Start each day. You on?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Hear you and see you.
Okay. What I meant by the kids and surroundings and stuff like that. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly. Repeat.
Okay. Actually, I have two questions. One, I have a friend, and my friend, of course, he's divorced, and he wants to have a 9-hour conversation about.
You broke up.
Wife.
He said he want to have a 9-hour.
And I kind of want to tell him discussion about his ex-wife.
Okay.
How do you tell him to move on? You're divorced now. Move on.
Move on. Get her back.
No, move on. She took everything she could. The kids too.
So what's the discussion? What's the concept? The general topic of the discussions?
Well, what can I do to do this and that and blah blah blah? I'm like, dude, We still having this. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm listening to you, but at the same time, I damn near want to tell you, okay, ain't it time for you to be a bachelor again? So the question that becomes, when you have friends and family who kind of, they're in a situation and you kind of like want them to get out of that.
When they're in the situation and you want them to get out of it.
I mean, they out of the situation. Wait, okay, let me go back. I know I'm talking like I'm drunk.
I didn't say
They're in the situation. They want to have a conversation about all of this stuff.
Okay. You broke up.
How do I tell them?
You want to? Okay, this is what I heard. They're in a situation. They want to have a conversation about the situation, and how do I tell them? That's what I heard.
Right. I want to tell them, dude, you divorced now. You divorced. Why are you still talking about the kids and all this other stuff? And that's not your situation no more.
PTSD. Post-traumatic.
And it annoys the hell out of me because I'm talking about it.
Oh, tell him go therapy. Because he's out of the situation physically, mentally he's not. He's still there. But mentally he's not. He's stuck.
Okay.
And he needs to get professional help. I mean, not because he's crazy, it's because, I mean, divorce is a very detrimental situation. You know, the thing, divorce comes from the root word of defect. In defect, leading things to die. So death is a form of death. But you're walking around and you still got breath. I actually know an individual that he said he really could have fought harder for his marriage because his wife is still his best friend. They had a son together, and he's still all right with her. He said he should have fought a little harder. He said, but when the divorce papers was cleared, his kidney gave away. It's like a part of him died, literally and metaphorically. But because it does something to you. You invest, you connect with the individual. Does so he really needs to get some professional help, and that's not because he's crazy. We all need to have somebody to release to and try to get some type of emotional healing, which in turn, that's why he's probably his amygdala is being hijacked every day, especially every time he calls you. Yeah. He needs help.
Okay, now I have another question for me.
Yeah.
Situation.
Uh-huh.
You hear that? You hear me?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. How do we deal with parents? Okay, I'm always talking about bad situations and this and that. But I'm like, okay, some of us are taking care of older parents, and mom or dad might be, they're older and they kind of like grumpy about stuff, or they're settled in their ways and they won't do certain things.
Right.
And so it takes a toll on you because you're trying to, you're always trying to get them to do the right thing. Mom, you need to take your medicine. Mom, you don't need to do that. And that it takes a toll on you. But that's one of those examples of, I can't walk away from this. My mother's calling me. I got to answer her. Because if I don't, she's going to keep calling.
You can put on mute. Can you put on mute?
How do you handle stuff like that? Put what on mute?
Hey, she keep calling. Just put the phone on mute. You could call. Okay.
Okay, so she can make the situation harder than what it is.
No, you pretty much you gotta tell you explain the situation. You tell your mother how it's gonna be, and you gotta stick to your guns. Now the issues with people that's close to you is that we generally don't stick to our guns because it pulls on our heartstrings, and we have a sense of guilt. So we're not battling with them; we're battling with ourselves. Did that answer your question? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
But I mean, so are you saying situations are different when it comes to putting things? What am I saying? Releasing things. Like you use the example of it, every time you go down the street every day, you have it triggers certain emotions. I can't put mom or pop on the back burner.
Yeah, but you can't deal with that situation if you don't know how to deal with yourself. You have to take the first step to deal with yourself. So when you come to that situation again, now you know, all right, I got this now. Stop. Take a deep breath. 478. I mean to reset myself so I can rationally think. And then you have to be aware of what your trigger is. A lot of times we just go off half cocked, and we consistently go off half cocked because we don't take time to evaluate what triggers us. So if you know mama started talking about money that triggers you, then you say, "Oh, well, mom, I gotta go right now. I'll call you back," because you know when it's about to come. But she talk about cousin JoJo. It's okay. I can talk about this because you have to understand what the triggers. It may be a word. It may be a smell. It may be a feeling. It may be anything that connects to any of the five senses and may trigger you somewhere. And you know, every time you hear that word, you go a certain place. Every time you smell that odor, you go a certain place in your mind. So you say, okay. I feel this odor coming. I need to walk away. I hear these words coming. I heard it. First time is the warning, then you walk away from it. Pull yourself in, and then you know how to cope with it. Until you build some type of coping muscles, you know. Because even the breathing thing is not an easy thing if you're not accustomed to doing it. The only thing that's generally easy is the stuff that you do all the time, unconsciously. Now, when you have to put effort to anything, it's even the simple things. Have you ever talked to individuals that's close to you, said, "Have you drunk your water today?" And they know they need the water. They know they need the water, but they don't do it. They just forget. And it frustrates you because you know they need the water that's the issue. And so you know you gotta revamp, come a different direction. You know. That answers your question?
I think you kind of need to do a series on how to handle parents separately.
Beat them like they beat you. Beat them. No. I was just playing. So anybody think I'm serious?
I can't against stuff like that. It's laws against stuff like that. I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like you had some hesitation there. All right. Mendez brother.
Well, not only those, but you know, she got a bunch of grandbabies. They wouldn't be too happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they jump you. They jump you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and they're strong. There's some strong 20 and 30-year-olds, you know. They're strong.
Oh yeah, they're young and viral. Yep. I mean, but you just have to deal with that accordingly. I mean, you have to avoid. When I say you avoid the street until you build up the coping mechanism, the technique to deal with the situation. And the reason why you These usually why you walk away from it, because you know it's only a couple of minutes. It won't take that long. You just need to pull back, because like I said, in the one of 6 steps is, or 6 ways that you know it's only temporary. See, why would you let a temporary situation cause you elongated harm internally, which is producing an ulcer, then cancerous tumor? So it's better to get control of yourself before everything else controls you. Did I answer your question?
I think so, but I still want you to do that series on parents.
Okay. The series on parents.
Yes.
I don't like that video.
So let's take a step back and talk about this series.
Okay.
How did you come up with this idea to talk about the brain and what is that called? I forgot that fast.
Amygdala.
The area of the
I,
brain. Okay, how did that happen?
well, I'm in the vein of a.
And what was your goal what was your goal or objective? What did you want us to take away from it?
You can prevent your hijacking. You don't have to go off shell because somebody said a word or did the wrong thing, or bought the wrong thing from the grocery store. You don't have to go shell. You have techniques to help you to not to become, not to go shell, and have a sustained emotional pouting fest for days. But you got to practice it. You have to practice doing it. Yeah, like that. You got to pull yourself back so that you can prevent yourself, your amygdala, from being hijacked, because we all experience certain hits, but we don't. But everybody doesn't respond in the best manner to get to show the best version of ourselves. So the goal is to to be the best version of yourself, because while you have external stimuli, you're always going to be affected by something outside of yourself. But the thing is, the question remains: how would you how would you be affected? How do you allow other things to affect you? Because, and how do you respond? It affects you one way, but how do you respond? Then the response is on you. Do you dig in, or do you slap them? Do you say nothing? Do you run away, or do you fight? It's all Everything builds down to a choice. You have a choice how you respond. Do you respond in love, or do you just respond in hate? It's all based on you. So the how this came up is because I am doing it's a 4-part series of the emotional intelligence. But I thought the amygdala was worth going outside the four tenets of the construct. I thought it was worth expounding on the amygdala, because so often you have a lot of individuals who just go shell for no reason, and there is a reason. Maybe they had too much caffeine. Maybe they don't have enough rest. Uh, but then they put themselves in a state of mind that nobody ever wants to talk to them, because they always get upset. It'd be like they become too sensitive, and when everything is not that serious, everything is based on how you respond. So I just thought it was worth going expound on amygdala, and giving 2 bits instead of one, talking about how to prevent, and giving 6 pointers, and then do another video. I did another video expounding on the 6 points of it, because a lot of people deal with anxiety as well as depression, which may be another venue I may stretch out into anxiety and depression, which is a big area in mental health that people is a very general diagnosis that everybody, a lot of people get that depression and anxiety. Did I answer your question?
Okay, so there will be another part, yes or no?
Yes. So I did the update. The next part will be on social awareness. The first part was on self-awareness.
And what is what is
What's that?
what's social awareness?
Oh, that's next video.
Okay, in the next 5 minutes, give us a sneak peek.
On being aware of things socially. Yeah, that's a sneak peek.
Very
What's that?
okay. Very brief answers.
Yeah. Well, you know, social. I mean, being aware, see if you socially awkward. You know, being aware of things socially. As I will go more in detail in the video. About 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. And then next one talk about. And then the last one talk about relationships. Yep. Mm. Any other questions?
That's it.
This is a record. Let me see if any more any chats. All right. I guess everybody's gonna look to replay tomorrow. For the most part, got the replay coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. The replay. I may have some music, or I may not have any music at all, but it will be a replay. There will be a replay, and after the replay tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Preferably shortly after the replay, I will be downloading. I will be posting the podcast. Now, while people look at this video, you can still go down in my comment section, give me a like and comment about, even on the replay, you can comment on this information that I've pretty much been talking about. But also you can see the link that would take you to the podcast, and the podcast address is A Hero's Journey with Dr. D, the podcast.com. So you can go directly to that, and you can see all the latest, all the earlier podcasts and the current podcast. However, but tomorrow, Thursday night, you will see the updated. You will see the podcast, which will have the first video talk about the amygdala, and the second video talk about the 6 steps in depth about the amygdala, as well as this live session, all combined for your listening pleasure on the audio platform. That'll be at 9 p.m. tomorrow. So, with that being said, this is a hero's journey with Dr. D. Here to encourage, to inspire, to motivate, to educate, helping you get beyond your first move. And if you find any value in this content, why don't you just help me help you, so we can help others by clicking subscribe, liking, give me a thumbs up, sharing, and climbing and joining with me, connecting with me, so we can so we can try to make it better tomorrow, today. And that's the goal. That's the aspirations. As you see this video, you probably will see a couple links up top that will direct you to the previous videos of dealing with emotional intelligence. The couple things I've done with emotional intelligence. I mean, the first one, the second one, and the second and a half, which we talk about the amygdala. So you have 4 choices to choose from. So, second closing. So with that being said, this is Hero's Journey with Dr. D. Peace and blessings, and we are